Hey, do you know this guy? Nah, I don't know.
Special delivery, baby. I'm really excited to get the opportunity to ride these a little bit early and give you guys my impressions of them. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit biased because Deluxe does hook me up with product from time to time, but I will be giving you guys my honest feedback on these. If you want to take what I say with a grain of salt, I understand. All right, here we go, guys. These are an advanced set of our newest T2 Thunder trucks. We've been working on these for a few years now and they're excited. You know what? We'll read this after we get them out. I gotta see these things, man. All right, here it is. Oh, how heavy is it gonna be? Doesn't feel that heavy. You guys ready? This way. Okay. Look at that, dude. You can see the little clear pivot cup there. Rounded out on the base plate a little bit, which is actually supposed to be pushed up more, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's get the other one out. Got the Baja Blast bushings. Let's read over this little pamphlet I got. Let me hold it like I'm on The Price is Right. The new T2s have Thunder's proven quick turn geometry, remastered from the base up. Taller 54mm axle height creates a deeper, more responsive turn, offering extra room for larger wheels. New redesigned base plate with shifted bolt hole pattern designed to slide on base plate instead of wheels. Better lock-in for nose, tail, and blunt slides. Rounded off base plate corners and pivot housing for less hang-ups and smoother slides. Newly developed 90 durometer single tapered bottom bushing designed for stability without sacrificing response. New 100 durometer tapered clear pivot cups with a fast break-in time and effortless turns out of the box. Reinforced hangers with high-grade aluminum axle enclosure added for extra strength and a longer truck life. All right, anything on the back? Just Jim's grocery list. I only have this studio for half an hour before they're gonna charge me double, so we gotta do this quick. I have a Thunder Team base plate and a Thunder Forge base plate. It would probably suffice just to compare them to the standards because what the hell, I just had an extra one laying around to figure why not bring it out. And I also grabbed a set of replacement Thunder bushings because I wanna see what these bushings look like stacked up to these ones. All right, so let's take this apart and see what we're working with. You know what? We'll put this guy in here just so this one doesn't feel left out. Yeah, this thing is light as fuck. You can see the T2 is way more rounded off right here in the middle. I don't know what the technical term for that is. Somebody can tell me. Just looking at the shift in geometry there. Wow. And I mean, we can compare it to the Forge, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, so here's the T2 bushings. Interesting. The standard bushings are taller. Huh. I expected these to be taller. Now for the weigh-in. See what the old 149 weighs. 371, 372. Okay, well, whichever way the wind blows, it's anywhere between 370 and 372, but we're gonna call it, okay, zero it out. It's actually a pretty windy day, so let's just say, oh my God. All right, it's 370. Anyway, I just double checked and it did stay at 370, so 370 grams. I'll put a comparison on screen of what an AF1 55 weighs, an Indy Standard 149, Indy Forged Hollow 149, and so on. Just kind of give you guys a breakdown of where these sit. So what I'm gonna do is set these up, start skating them immediately. So can't wait to try these out. Let's go get a session on them. All right, so this is gonna be the first session with the T2s. I haven't rolled on them at all yet, so here we go. Let's see how they roll. Oh shit, that's loose. Whoa. Oh my God. Wow. That is a lot looser than I expected them to be, but in a cool way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, yeah, no, this doesn't feel like a Thunder at all. Wow. Holy crap. A lot looser than I expected. For the past like 2.5, 3 weeks, I've been riding Team Thunders, so I got kind of used to like more of a tighter truck. This is more like an AF1 or like an Indy right out the box, but of course this is just like the first time I'm riding them, so really hard to tell. Once the bushings kind of break in, they might tighten up a little bit. It's loose, but not in a bad way. It's not like the first run of the inverted kingpin Thunders where they were like insanely squirrely and also getting wheel bite. These are fun. This is fucking surfy, dude. Holy shit. All right, kind of early to pop the board in the session for me, but let's give it a little ollie. Oh, brand new trucks. Solid pop. All right, I gotta actually like warm up if I'm gonna skate. I just whiffed a kickflip, so don't want that in the video. But hopefully that shows you guys like how they turn a little bit. No touching. Oh shit, almost leaned backwards. That would have been bad. It does slow down if I was to just like dig my heels in. See, so you can get wheel bite. Got a little tiny bit of flat ground just to see how they do. Oh, gross. That was my fault. Yeah. Oh, there's the wheel bite. All right, I'm done pop shoveting. I'm gonna hope these bushings firm up a little bit over time, because right now they're too loose for me to be doing any type of pop shoves. Terrible, but rolled away. I was not having this problem on my previous trucks. Oh, that was not a good one either. That was weird. Oh. All right, that felt a little more normal, but yeah, big difference, man. Okay, yeah. This happens to me whenever I switch back from like Thunders to AF1s or even standard Indies. Like I have to like recalibrate my kickflip. Better. See how heel flips are doing on these. If I get 2 in a row. Horrible. I think it's just me, not the trucks, dude. I'm loving the carve though. Alright, we'll take that one. See how they do on the old faithful box. Yeah. Smooth, smooth. I like it. Barely hung on to that one. Wow. Sliding on a base plate while riding Thunders. What a time to be alive. I like missed the box. Dude, the tail slide felt really good. Ooh, okay. I feel like the bushings are already tightening up too. They don't even feel as squirrely as they did like 10 minutes ago. Might just be me warming up though. Oh shit. Oh my god, I almost died. That trick can be a little dangerous if you're not paying attention. As is, I mean, I guess all tricks can. Ah, fucking take it. Oh, that one felt good, I'm not gonna lie. Oh god. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to one of these right now, but I'll give it a shot. Oh my god. Ah. Oh, I could have fucking landed that one. I think that's gonna do it for me. My kids look like they're ready to go. I gotta go have like a full-on slappy session on these and just skate a shit ton of street. Inside me there are 2 wolves, but behind me there are 3 boards. All right, now it's time to really geek out. The purple board, we got AF1s. The black board, we got the T2s. The blue board, we got stage 11 Indies. All right, measurers, let's get measuring. Ow. And this board is the Generator GFB shape. This is a symmetrical egg board with a 14.375 wheelbase. So it's going to even the playing field out. We're going to see what the wheelbase difference is between Indy, T2s, and AF1s. Because I feel like these are all in the same kind of realm now that Thunder's kind of entered the surfy, turny truck market. All right, so we got Ace coming in at 17 and 3/16. The Indies are coming in at 17 and 9/16. And the T2, surprisingly, coming in also at 17 and 3/16. So we've already seen how the Thunders turn right out of the box, and I did note that they firmed up quite a bit after about 20-30 minutes of skating around. Now we're going to compare the T2s, AF1s, and Indies, and I'm going to give you guys my honest feedback about which one I think turns the best. All right, so we're going to start off with the T2s, and I'm literally just going to zigzag around, and that's going to be the test. This isn't science class, guys. Nice and turny. I mean, with the same wheelbase as an AF1, of course they're going to be turny. And these are Spitfire Classics. I'd say they're about worn down to a 52 millimeter, so let's see if we can get wheel bite. Okay, so skating them on 54 millimeter radials, which are probably about a 53 if I'm being honest at this point, we got wheel bite. But that was also tested right out of the box. I'm really trying to get wheel bite here. No wheel bite. Woo! Pretty fun. All right, let's set that one down right here. All right, next up, we're going Indies. And I should add, there's no threads showing on any of these trucks. Remarkably similar. That's damn near hard to tell the difference. Next up, AF1s. And I should note these are stock bushings as well. Oh, shit. All right, that's noticeably different. Wow. All right, first thing I'm noticing, you get this like insane carve, like after you've already reached, I don't know, the pinnacle of your turn, you get like this extra little push with the AF1s that kind of like gives you that deeper carve. Yeah, all right. I mean, again, this is totally subjective, but from what I've experienced right here, I got to give it to AF1s. They are definitely the carviest of all three. Now that Thunder has entered the surfy truck market, I guess we're going to call it the big three of like carvy trucks. Just in my experience right here tonight, I'm going to give it to the AF1s. They just felt like right when you hit that like peak of your turn where you can't turn anymore, they give you this like extra little boost. It's surprising though because the T2s feel more similar to an Indy, like almost identical. I think if you were to blindfold me, well, I would fall. But if you were to somehow give me like a blind test and put T2s and Indies next to each other, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell the difference. And again, I'm not claiming this is like actual science or this should impact your buying decisions in any type of way. Just giving you guys my opinions. All right, so I'd say I've skated on these for about 10 hours. That gives me enough time to kind of like get a feel for the trucks, get to know how they perform, and give them enough time to break in, more importantly. So the first thing I want to get out of the way is the bushings. They were super loose right off the bat, but after like 20-30 minutes, they tightened up pretty substantially. And then something kind of odd happened. After a few more hours on them, they started to feel loose again, but not the same type of looseness as where you saw me skating around the skate park. I guess the best way to describe it is they kind of retain like sort of a vague thundery turn while still having a surfy turn. It's really hard to describe, and again, this is going to be all subjective, so your experiences with these might be totally different, but to me they felt really similar to an Indy in that they don't have that really deep carve like an AF1, but they also still sort of have like a reminiscent Thunder turn. If you've ridden Thunders, you're aware that the bushings crack after a while. And I would say, you know, with my weight and the way I skate, doing a lot of slappies, stuff like that, they usually tend, in all the Thunders that I've set up, they usually tend to show that little wear on the top bushing especially. There's no like set amount of time, but usually after like a few solid sessions, you start to notice it fraying like right above the washer. And since these bushings are more opaque, I'm thinking that they redesigned them. They're not showing any signs of distress or wear or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure Thunder redesigned these bushings with that in mind. Now, replacement bushings, are those gonna come down the line? I have no idea. But as of right now, there's no replacement bushings from Thunder for the T2 that I'm aware of. They might announce those further down the line, or maybe when these are officially released, not sure yet. But as of the time that I'm recording this, the only bushings that you're able to buy from Thunder are the stock replacements and the bushing repair kit. It would be really ideal if you could just ride them the entire life of the truck until you axle them. I mean, that's what you want from a truck, right? Anyways, just reporting back that the bushings seem to be in good health, and from my experience with Thunders, that's a good sign at this stage in the game. Now let's compare these to a standard Thunder. This is nothing like a standard Thunder. Like I said, the turn is a little bit similar, but only like vaguely. Like I kind of get this hint of Thunder when I'm doing like a deep turn on these things, but they're not close at all to like regular Thunders. So if you're a fan of riding Thunders for what they already are, these aren't gonna be for you unless you're looking to like have a new experience, basically. Now that brings me to the pinch. I had no problem pinching these, but I'm also fairly accustomed to skating AF1s and Indies. So, I mean, I can kind of adapt a little bit more than maybe somebody who's been riding Thunder or Venture or something like a lower truck for years and years. Like these might throw you way off. As far as stability goes, I mean, it's a looser truck. You're not gonna feel as stable. I didn't do a ton of flat ground on these because I don't do a ton of flip tricks in general, but the ones that I did do, I mean, they felt like skating on a looser truck. Now for the class that they're in, which is like the tourney truck market now, I think these are the lightest of like the standard axle kingpin trucks, unless you go hollows. So they have that going for them, which is actually pretty cool. And I had really no issues skating these things. Like I could adapt to these and these could be my everyday truck, no problem. As far as aesthetics go, I'm not a huge fan of like the chunkier hanger. I kind of prefer Thunders with like the slim down hanger right there because they just have a certain look to them. These look more like a chunkier Venture type of hanger, which I'm not a huge fan of. That's, of course, again, going to be totally subjective because it is just kind of like a big chunk of metal. And for my taste, it's not my favorite. You can see a lot of base plate slide marks going on there. I did do a lot of nose and tail slides on these. I actually learned a new slappy tail slide variation. So that was cool. This is remarkably similar to an Indy, almost identical to a Stage 11. I don't think it feels like an Ace at all. I know a lot of people were asking for a longer base plate. I'm not sure that they're gonna get a lot of Thunder riders converting over to these, but I think they do have a good chance to kind of like take some of the market share away from Indy. And that might be the goal because Thunder is technically the rest, so you know. But yeah, overall, a really solid truck. They're not like the game changer I kind of thought they were gonna be because I maybe had my expectations a little too high, but that falls on me. These have been rumored for like 2 years now, and you know, there's been talk and pictures leaked and all that stuff, and I think like the hype built up quite a bit, which isn't gonna be fair to judge Thunder by because they were just redesigning one of their trucks like, hey, now we're gonna offer this. You guys can choose it, try it out, and if you like it, great. What it does really well. I think they're just throwing their hat in the ring. They made a really surfy, turny truck. I mean, they have like Jimmy Wilkins on the team. They have Frankie Villani on the team. Their team is huge. So I almost feel like this truck was designed for certain pros that already ride for Thunder in mind. If you're already an Indy guy, if you're already an Ace guy, especially if you're like a brand loyalist, I don't think these are gonna be like a huge game changer for you. So you might wanna just try them out, go look at them, and also you might just like the look of them. It's a taller Thunder. It's got a beefier hanger. It's got more kingpin clearance, and I was really happy with the way they performed.